Okie dokie, boys and girls, it is day 11 of overcoming injuries, and today I want to talk about a stupid problem that I had because basically during this overcoming injuries phase, I'm injured in my ankle and so I can't run as much. That's the entire problem, right? And so before I ran the Shimanami Ultra Marathon, 70 kilometers, basically to work up to that point, I was running like 80 to 90 kilometers per week, I would say. So I was doing 10 kilometers every day at least, and then sometimes I would do 15 or 20 or even 30 kilometers. And at the moment, I'm trying to heal my ankle, so obviously I cannot run that much, but there is a problem that comes with that, and that is, well, I am not getting in a lot of cardio, and I like to get in a lot of cardio because then, well, you're fit and you have a lot of energy, you have a great immune system, so on and so forth. All of these benefits, right? And I can't have them at the moment because I'm not running, right? And so I was thinking to myself, how do I cover these? Perhaps should I do some burpees? Well, those hurt my ankles, so I couldn't do them. I was thinking, well, should I do some cycling? Well, cycling, that's not really a great option because it's too easy. But if you think about it, that's like, you know, looking for your phone while you're calling someone, of course you're not going to be able to find it. The solution is easy. Just take your hand away and look where you're at. There's your phone. That's how easy the solution is. And in this case, the solution is that easy as well because the entire premise of something being too easy or too hard is it's invalid, right? You have heard the same excuse when it comes to bodyweight training. Oh, bodyweight training is too easy. Well, then make it harder, right? I've said this before. Do more reps. Do rest, like, don't rest as much. Make the exercise itself harder. Have you tried a planche? It's not too easy, right? There are so many solutions, and it's the same for cycling, right? If it's too easy, make it harder. Pedal harder, right? And so basically, it sounds stupid that I'm talking about this because it seems so obvious. But I was thinking to myself, like, well, cycling, that's pretty easy. It's not gonna cover the running. But these past couple days, I've been cycling to work as hard as I can. Basically, my legs and my glutes are just dead tired at the end, and I'm getting in some great cardio, right? And I can do this 2 times a day, right? If I go all in, which I think I will, to be honest, I can get 45 minutes of cardio twice a day, 5 days a week, without even trying. That's I have to do that anyway, and I can just go as hard as possible and get some great cardio while I'm letting my ankles rest. And so, yeah, all in all, just to say, sometimes we have this problem, right? And we've got our head so far stuck up our ass that we cannot see anything to come up with a solid solution, and we start thinking of these complex things. Well, all we have to do is just a simple adjustment, right? And it's the same with running, by the way. Yesterday I was talking about how do you run every day, right? If the running is too hard, make it easier. If something is too hard, make it easier. If it's too easy, make it harder. Right? That's what what the hell am I even talking about? Right? Anyway, I just wanted to mention that because sometimes it's just the obvious doesn't pop up in your head. But yeah, anyway, today is gonna be a leg day, and well, it's gonna be a short one. I'm trying to save myself a little bit on the squats because I want my ankles to hurt. So even though these Hindu squats that I'm doing, they don't hurt my ankles too much. I don't want to risk the biscuit, do like 500 reps, and then basically aggravate the injury again. So it's getting better in the past, like in the last couple days, and I want to keep it that way. So today's leg day is going to be the usual 200 Hindu squats with some push-ups mixed in between. But then after that, we have one set of Nordic rolls again as well. So it's going to be a short workout, but on those Nordic rolls, well, I'm gonna go with it. So that's exciting. So yeah, let's go. All right. So what I'm doing here is some warm-up sets for the Nordic curls, and well, I did 5 sets of 70 squats on those Hindu squats, combined with a bit of push-ups in between. And well, I do feel a little bit of pain in my ankle on the left side, but I think as long as I don't feel it tomorrow, it is fine. So I just kept on going. It didn't get worse throughout. It was just, every now and then I felt it. But anyway, my legs were quite pumped. 5 sets of 70 squats, even though the pace is quite slow, is nothing to laugh at least not for me, because, well, at the moment my legs are weak. But anyway, now time to move on to the Nordic rolls. And well, for this one, I've just been doing one set every week. Like, actually, one set every week. Sounds insane, doesn't it? And well, I've been progressing with it. Although I should mention, I've done Nordic rolls in the past and I've done them a lot, so I kind of know this movement already. Obviously, the best way to learn a new skill is not to just do it one time a week, because then you only have one chance per week to adapt to the movement. So, it's best to learn a skill with higher frequency, but once you've got something down, once you know how to do a movement, you can also go way harder on it, and so you need more recovery. And so for me, I feel like because I've done this movement in the past, I'm able to now just do one set a week and still get decent training in. I can go to my max on this one set and have to recover for, well, at least 4 days, because then I still feel the soreness. And then afterwards, I just wait until the next one. And I make some decent progress. I'm not at my peak strength at the moment, but still, I'm getting quite close, I believe. So let's go. Today, we are doing weighted Nordic rolls with 2 kilos on my back, which doesn't sound like a lot, but it's a lever movement. So if you have weight at the end of your lever, it's gonna be, or it's gonna feel way heavier than it actually is. That's why, a full planche is way more difficult than a straddle planche. It's because your lever is getting longer. And if you put 2 kilos at the end of your feet on a full planche, well, it all of a sudden becomes twice as difficult. So, yeah, let's go. Top set. Fuck you. Alright. 5 reps plus 1. Holy hell. Okay, so only 6 reps in total, which is not a lot. I will have to see next week if it's actually enough, because usually, yes, I can get away with one set as of late, but these sets have been, I think at least 8 reps, but sometimes even like up to 20 if I'm doing drop sets. So I'll have to see if 6 reps is enough volume. And well, the way I'm gonna see that is, well, basically, if next week I can do more than this week, then it's fine. Then it doesn't matter. So yeah, that's gonna be that approach. But for now, to end off the training, I'm gonna do one more thing. I'm gonna basically, try some one-legged Hindu squats. I've been doing a lot of Hindu squats lately, as you might have seen in the videos. And well, those are always with 2 legs. But the other day, I just tried it once, and I feel like I can kind of unlock a one-legged Hindu squat. And well, it might be a great way to strengthen the ankle. It might also be a great way to just break it completely. But that's something we will find out today. I think I will not break my ankle. At most, I will lose balance. But we will see. If I can unlock this and do it for a couple of reps, I feel like it will be a fun exercise. So I'm just gonna do some attempts now. Let's go. Whoa! I did. I did one hit. It's so difficult to balance though. Yes. I'm gonna try a couple more. Okie dokie. So that was quite a fun way to end the training. A completely new movement. I had never done this before prior to last Saturday, where I just did one attempt and basically failed. But today I managed to get a couple reps, so quite happy with how that went. And that's also a very important reminder because, well, guess what? When you're injured, there's a lot of things that you can't do. It's very frustrating. I am just burning and itching every day to go for a run longer than 5 kilometers, and especially to run a little bit quicker because all of that walking and running, it's so boring. I am capable of doing more and I want to do more. That's what I mentioned yesterday. That's why I'm able to run every day, is because, well, I do it at such an easy pace that basically I look forward to the next run all the time. But this is a little bit too easy. But I got I got sidetracked a little bit. As I was saying, it's an important reminder that even when you're injured, as long as you keep focusing on what you are able to do, of course there's the negative stuff that you can't do, but if you focus on what you are still able to do, amongst all of the chaos and the frustration and the burning desire to start training the way you want to again, there's also going to be these nice little moments like I had today where you try something new and you succeed or you fail, but at least you try something, or you progress compared to last week on a certain exercise. So for me, the Nordic girls, this week they were stronger than they were last week. Last week they were stronger than they were the week before. So I'm heading in the right direction on there. With the squats, I did 5 sets of 70. That's quite nice. With the push-ups, every day I'm doing 5 sets of 5 or sometimes 7, right? And I'm feeling that they're getting a little bit stronger every time. So you have all of these nice things, and of course, they're not your main goal. You're perhaps it's training you don't want to do for the rest of your life, but still, you're getting some tiny wins, and that's very important because, well, when you're injured, a lot of negative stuff tends to just be present in your mind, right? And so, if everything is negative in your mind, well, you just need a little bit, to make the ratio go up a lot, and these tiny little achievements, these tiny little victories of things that you are able to do, they will make a big difference. So yeah, that's a very important thing to just keep in mind all the time, in my opinion. But anyway, tomorrow I'm gonna cycle to work and back, and also go to the park to train with a friend. Yeah, indeed. So tomorrow I will see you at the park again, and yeah, that's gonna be it for today. I'll see you tomorrow.